Okay, open to the notes where you are taking notes on vocabulary. There are just a few words from Acts 4 and 5 that will help you to understand the play. So the first word is wrangle. At the beginning of Act 4, Cassius shows up at Brutus's army tent and he wants to speak to Brutus, and Brutus says, "Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then, in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience." So use some context clues there. Brutus doesn't want the army to see anything from them but love, and he tells Cassius that in the tent he can enlarge his griefs. So what do you think wrangle could possibly mean? Wrangle means to argue or to have a dispute, usually one that is long and complicated. The next word is vile. Once in the tent, Brutus and Cassius begin to talk a lot about money, and Cassius has earned some money by taking bribes. And Brutus says to Cassius, "I did send to you for certain sums of gold which you denied me, for I can raise no money by vile means." This one's a little confusing, but Brutus is saying that he asked Cassius, who is on his side, to send him some money, which is, a rightful thing to do. And then he says he doesn't want to raise money by vile means. So vile would be the opposite of doing something right. So vile actually means morally wrong or wicked. It's a little bit confusing, though, because Brutus knows full well that Cassius has raised money through morally wrong ways by taking bribes. So why would he even want the money from Cassius? The next word is durst. The fight escalates, the wrangle escalates, and Cassius says, "When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me." And Brutus yells, "Peace, peace, you durst not so have tempted him." And Cassius yells, "I durst not." And Brutus says, "No." And Cassius says, "What, durst not tempt him?" So look back at how durst is used, especially in what Brutus says. He's telling Cassius that he durst not so have tempted Caesar. What do you think durst might mean? It actually sounds like the word that it means. Durst means dared. So you can reread that little section there, replacing durst with dared. The next word is apparition. Okay, so you've got the word apparition written down. Brutus, when he's alone in his tent after Cassius leaves at night and everyone is sleeping, says in the darkness, "Ha, who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil, that makest my blood cold and my hair to stare?" What do you think apparition means here? Look at the word that's in front of it. Look at some of the words in the sentence, "Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil?" An apparition is a ghost or a ghostly figure. Okay, this next word is really important for Act 5. There's a lot of action in Act 5. And the word that's important is ta'en, and the word means taken. So listen to this little exchange and see if you can understand what's actually happening now that you know that ta'en means taken. Pindarus, who is a servant to Cassius, is standing on a hill watching Titinius, who is a friend of Cassius's, during the fight. He's watching his army. And Pindarus says, "Titinius is enclosed round about with horsemen that make to him on the spur, yet he spurs on. Now they're almost on him. Now, Titinius, now some light. Oh, he lights too. He's ta'en." So now that you know that ta'en means taken, and this is during a battle, what do you think happened to Titinius, according to Pindarus? Pindarus thinks that Titinius has died. He thinks he's been taken by the opposing side. And the last word that's important in Act 5 is the word misconstrued. I think we had construe earlier, so that might help you with this passage. Titinius says at one point in Act 5, "Did I not meet thy friends? And did not they put on my brows this wreath of victory, and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything." So you see the word not in there a lot. You may know what the prefix mis means. What do you think misconstrued means in this context here? Misconstrue means to interpret wrongly or to misunderstand. Something is misconstrued in Act 5 that kind of sets off a chain of events. And if it hadn't been misconstrued, things might have ended better. So pay attention to what gets misconstrued in Act 5. Okay, so make sure you have those words in your notes, and you'll have a little quiz on them later, and hopefully they'll help you to understand the play.